The Galactic Council chamber stretched 300 meters across, its crystalline dome filtering the light of a dozen nearby stars. Ambassador Zix Thar, of the Krillian Collective, adjusted his environmental suit and glanced nervously at the two human guards flanking the entrance. The female, Susan, stood motionless, her eyes scanning the room with mechanical precision. The male, Evan, seemed equally still. Yet Zixthar could sense an underlying coil of readiness in his posture. "I still don't understand," Zixthar chittered to his aide. "Why the Council insists on human guards. We have species with 4 times their strength, twice their speed, and sensory capabilities that put them to shame." His aide, a younger Krillian, clicked her mandibles thoughtfully. "It is tradition now, Ambassador. For 300 cycles, since the incident." "What incident?" Before his aide could answer, the chamber doors sealed with a resonant boom. The council session was about to begin. Susan's neural implant pinged softly. Her eyes flickered to the diagnostic reading projected on her retina. All systems normal. Beside her, Evan's breathing remained steady, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. The rhythm of a trained soldier who had learned to conserve energy during the long hours of standing watch. They had both been briefed on today's session. A territorial dispute between the Vrax dynasty and the Hellion Confederacy. High tensions. Possible violence. It was precisely the kind of situation that had led to the creation of the Human Guard Corps 2 centuries ago. The representatives filed in methane breathers, silicon-based life forms, energy beings contained in photonic shells, and everything in between. The diversity of galactic civilization on full display. Susan cataloged each one automatically, her training identifying potential threats and escape routes with the efficiency of a combat computer. "Do you ever wonder why it's us?" Evan's voice was barely a whisper, transmitted through their secure comm channel. "Every day," Susan replied, her lips not moving. "But I read the histories. I know why." The Vrax ambassador slithered to his podium, his 6 eyes gleaming with barely contained fury. The Hellion representative floated opposite him, her plasma containment field crackling ominously. The debate began in the melodious tones of the standard galactic language, translated instantly by their neural implants. It started civilly enough. Border coordinates, trade agreements, mining rights. But as the minutes ticked into hours, voices rose. The Vrax ambassador's scales began to flush with aggressive coloration. The Hellion's containment field brightened to dangerous levels. Then it happened. The Hellion representative suddenly surged forward, her plasma form expanding as she launched herself at the Vrax ambassador. In the same instant, 3 Vrax assassins materialized from personal cloaking fields, weapons raised. The other guards, a massive Krogan warrior and a phase-shifted Zelian, moved immediately, but they moved to defend. The Krogan positioned himself to protect the nearest council members. The Zelian began evacuating the civilians. Susan and Evan moved to attack. They crossed the 100-meter distance in seconds, a feat that should have been impossible without enhancement. Susan's neurological combat software accelerated her perception, turning seconds into subjective minutes. Evan's adrenal response sent a cocktail of performance-enhancing chemicals flooding through his bloodstream, pushing his muscles beyond their normal limits. The Vrax assassin never saw Susan coming. She deflected his plasma pistol with a calculated strike that utilized the weapon's own recoil against it, then delivered a nerve strike that paralyzed him instantly. Non-lethal, but utterly effective, Evan intercepted the Hellion representative mid-charge. Every other species would have burned away instantly upon contact with her superheated form. But humans, blessed with a heat tolerance born from evolving under a yellow sun's radiation and volcanic environments, could withstand temperatures that would reduce most species to ash. His heat-resistant suit bought him precious seconds as he deployed a containment field from his gauntlet, capturing her mid-flight. The third assassin found himself facing both humans simultaneously. He surrendered immediately. The entire incident lasted 14 seconds. As security teams flooded the chamber, Ambassador Zixthar stared in shock at the 2 human guards. now calmly resuming their positions as if nothing had happened. Susan's expression remained neutral, though a slight sheen of sweat betrayed her exertion. Evan rolled his shoulders once, his only concession to the violence that had just occurred. The incident, Zixthar's aide whispered, happened 300 cycles ago. During the formation of the council, 12 species provided guards, each the finest warriors their civilizations could offer. When violence erupted, the Krogan fought bravely but defensively. The Xelians protected the innocent. The Marduk froze. Bound by their cultural prohibitions against violence in sacred spaces, the Zenthari went berserk, killing attacker and defender alike. And the humans? The humans did what needed to be done, nothing more, nothing less. They neutralized threats with minimal force, protected everyone regardless of species, and never lost control. It wasn't that they were stronger or faster or better than everyone else. It was that they possessed something unique, a combination of aggression and restraint, violence and mercy, killer instinct, and compassionate judgment. Zixthar watched as Susan helped the paralyzed Vrax assassin into a more comfortable position while they waited for medical assistance. Evan was offering water to the contained Hellion representative, his voice calm and professional as he explained the legal proceedings she would face. "They're predators," the aide continued, "but predators with conscience. They evolved as hunters, but chose to become guardians. They have the capacity for terrible violence, but the wisdom to use it sparingly. In 10,000 species across the galaxy, humans alone possess this paradox. They are the only species that can stand at the threshold between civilization and chaos and choose, moment by moment, which side to serve." Susan caught Zixthar staring and offered a small, professional nod. Her eyes, he noticed, were still scanning the room, still watching for threats, still protecting everyone within these halls. Even him. "That," his aide finished, "is why humans are the only species allowed to stand guard in council halls. Because when violence comes, they will meet it with exactly the force required, and no more. Because they understand that true strength isn't in the capacity for violence, it's in the choice not to use it, unless absolutely necessary." The session reconvened an hour later. Susan and Evan remained at their posts, silent guardians of a civilization that spanned 1,000 worlds. And the galaxy rested easier, knowing they were there.